You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome to Max A. Pooch's Awesome Animal Advocates on Pet Life Radio. I'm Keith Sanderson, your host, animal advocate, writer, and human companion of Max A. Pooch, canine crusader for animals and environment. Max and I thank you for joining us. We dedicate this episode, as we dedicate every episode, to those amazing people who work to save the lives and or improve conditions of companion, domestic, or wild animals. Our guest today is not only an awesome animal advocate, he's a celebrity, and at the age of 17, he has an impressive resume of professional and advocacy accomplishments. He is Lou Wegner, and Lou is singer, actor, and animal advocate. He appears in Trouble with the Curve, starring Clint Eastwood, Amy Adams, and Justin Timberlake, Nickelodeon's The Thunderbirds, Doughboy, a dramedy about real-life veterans, and Random Acts of Christmas, and other film and TV projects. His latest film project, Pass the Light, I'm told, the animal advocacy group that was founded by Lou, Kids Against Animal Cruelty, KAAC, was written into the script of Pass the Light. Lou will tell us more about that, but first we want to take a break for a few words from those who make Max A. Pooch's Awesome Animal Advocates possible.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Dog Shelter Blues, the new novel by Mark Conkling. This hard-hitting story lights up the world of animal rescue with engaging characters and their pets, struggling with their own internal demons as they attempt to rescue innocent creatures that sometimes bring a mysterious transforming power to broken lives. Read the first chapter of Dog Shelter Blues free at dogshelterblues.com. Then come along a breathtaking journey that ends with an astonishing triumph of good over evil. Order your copy of Dog Shelter Blues today. Available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Max A. Pooch's Awesome Animal Advocates. I'm Keith Sanderson, your host, and welcome to Lou Wegner, one of Max A. Pooch's favorite animal advocates. Thank you for being with us today, Lou.
Oh, no, thank you for having me. The intro was phenomenal. That was awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Well, it's only the truth. I understand your latest film, Pass the Light, wrote Kids Against Animal Cruelty into the script. Can you tell us a little bit about the film and how you got KAAC into the script?
When I auditioned for the film, they were looking at my resume, and I have Kids Against Animal Cruelty on there, and they asked about it, and I was telling them about it in the audition, and they were loving it, and they were liking it and checking it out in the audition, which was awesome. And then when we were doing the movie, about halfway through the shoot, they said, "Hey, how would you feel if we incorporated Kids Against Animal Cruelty into the movie somehow?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, whatever you guys can do, that'd be phenomenal." So they made a poster, and they put it in the back of one of the big scenes. And it was just the fact that they couldn't really talk about Lou Wegner because I was playing Calvin, so that'd be kind of weird. But it was just the fact that they incorporated with the poster and wanted to make awareness for Kids Against Animal Cruelty through the movie. I thought was just really genuine and really sweet and really awesome of them to do that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Can you tell us a bit about KAAC?
Yeah, I started Kids Against Animal Cruelty when I was 14 years old back in 2010, and at first it was just. At first, it wasn't even Kids Against Animal Cruelty. It was just a group, and I had a little Facebook page because I wanted my friends now to be able to talk about animals and things going on in shelters and how to, keep in contact with each other. We were on the streets holding up signs, and then when the press came one day, they did an interview of me because of the fact we were always on the streets. But then one of the signs I was holding up said, "We're Kids Against Animal Cruelty." So that was kind of like oh my gosh, that's what we got to call ourselves, Kids Against Animal Cruelty. And so thank you to Wendon Swift who sent that press. We came up with the name, and then we started volunteering in shelters and came Kids Against Animal Cruelty.
Talk about an aha moment. That was it.
Yeah, it was like that. It was just like that moment where you're like that realization of, oh my gosh, we have a group now. But I really had to thank Wendy Swift because she really got the group going, and she told us you should make this a page versus like a group of friends,
Well, that's really great because a lot of animals can really thank you and the work you're doing. And talk about the work you're doing. I understand that U.S. Representative Jim Moran, Democrat from Virginia, asked Kids Against Animal Cruelty to help support his bill that's being introduced in Congress. It's to end shelter gassing in all 15 states. And some of our listeners may not even be aware that many states still allow the gassing of dogs at shelters. Can you tell me what you and KAAC are doing to help Congressman Moran?
Well, what we've been doing is we've really been, I've been really networking, and all of our chapters really networking to all the fans of Kids Against Animal Cruelty, all the supporters, to write to their local congressmen to have them support the bill that Jim Moran is passing. Usually the more Congress people involved, the more recognition the bill's going to get, and all the votes and stuff that it needs. So we're trying to really just get people to write to their congressmen, the people in their districts, especially my chapter presidents and the other states, just to have, because even the states that have already banned the gassing, if they as people could vote and at least say, hey, we've already done it, we'd love to help out in the bill, just stuff like that. So just that unanimous vote to ban the gas.
I was doing some research, and I found out that Illinois still allows gassing of animals, and I was under the impression that we didn't do that anymore, but it just, to me, horrific.
Yeah, so does my home state of Ohio, which is, that's why, one of the main reasons I'm working so hard to fix is because, it's, and Pat Tiberi, who was the local congressman in Ohio, I've been talking to him, and he's been applying, and he's great, and they're really trying to push this bill, so hopefully it'll go through.
Well, we're going to write an article about it for Chicago Animal Advocacy to get the people in the Chicago area to write their congressmen and women, because it's certainly a cruel death, because unlike what some shelters may tell people, it's not a quick, painless death. It doesn't fall under the definition of euthanasia. It falls under the definition of cruelty.
Yeah, I know. And for prom, actually, a friend of mine, the West Virginia chapter president, invited me to go to prom with her because she knows I'm an actor and I really can't get that prom experience anymore. So she invited me to go with her, and I thought it'd be cool to bring a couple dogs with us. And we couldn't bring the dogs into prom, so we got badges. And I wore one with with the flower, and she wore one with her corsage. And one of them we saved, but the other one is in a high-kill gas shelter. But now the director of that shelter refuses to buy more gas because they're out of gas. So that was, huge.
I read about that. I saw that posting on Facebook someplace, and she's really getting a lot of positive publicity. It's a good move on her part. And by the way, I saw the prom picture, and one of the dogs looked very much like Max A. Pooch, who, if he hadn't ended up in a no-kill shelter, may have not been found in somebody to adopt him. It's a good thing that more and more shelters are going no-kill, and people like you are raising the awareness of them.
And that's what we're all about.
How long have you been interested in animals? Did you like them since you were like a tiny kid?
Yeah, I mean, as long as I can remember. I think when I was, 2 or 3, my parents enrolled me into a zoo camp in Columbus, Ohio at the Columbus Zoo. And, they really talked about animal conservation and preservation and endangered species. And ever since I was little, I've always wanted to protect the environment. And so I've always been into it. And then when I got old enough to really start being able to actually work with animals, my parents got me into a wildlife camp, which worked with hawks and coyotes. And I got really close to this one coyote named Hope, who couldn't be released in the wild because, she was so humanized, I guess. And, she was just the sweetest thing. And it just makes me so sad that they actually have a bounty out for coyotes now. So if you kill a coyote, you get a $50 reward or something. And it's just horrific. And I think that's terrible. Because you have to live with the wildlife. Without the wildlife and without nature and the environment, this world's just going to get messed up.
You're right, you're right. I find it so ironic. There's coyotes in the suburbs where we live, and people are always writing into the local newspaper about how dangerous it is and how terrible it is to hear an animal crying at night who's being killed by a coyote. And I think, well, you wanted to move out in the suburbs. I mean, that's part of it, and they were here before we were. Anyway, we need to take a break so you can hear from the folks who helped bring us Max A. Pooch's Awesome Animal Advocates. And please make sure you stay with us, because when we return, Lou's going to tell us about a new animal advocacy initiative he started.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Are you crazy about cats? If so, check out The World is Your Litter Box, Deluxe Edition. This clever how-to manual for cats, written by a cat named Quasi, contains more laughs than should be allowable in one book, and is poignantly underscored by the combative yet loving relationship between Quasi and his human. The World is Your Litter Box, Deluxe Edition, is guaranteed to have you laughing your tail off. So, treat yourself to a copy today. Available from Amazon.
Hi, this is Tim Link, animal communicator and pet expert and host of Animal Rights on Pet Life Radio. Have you ever wanted to know what your pet is really thinking? Do you want to find out if they truly understand what you're trying to tell them? Ever wish you could build a better understanding and closer relationship with your pet? Well, now you can. Learning to Communicate with Animals is a 4-part on-demand workshop. In the workshop, you'll learn the essential techniques that are necessary to communicate with animals, including what is animal communication, breathing correctly to achieve the perfect state to communicate with your animals at a deeper level, using guided meditation exercises and method to communicate with animals, and how to send and receive information from your animals. So if you're wanting to learn how to communicate and connect with your animals at a deeper level, visit PetLifeRadio.com/workshop and purchase and download Learning to Communicate with Animals. You'll be glad you did.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's All Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. All Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand. This is the place for a special paparazzi treat. Only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, welcome back. I'm Keith Sanderson, your host of Max A. Pooch's Awesome Animal Advocates, and our guest actor, singer, and one of Max A. Pooch's favorite animal advocates, Lou Wegner, is with us. And I understand you started a new national initiative called Spare Change for Shelter Animals. Can you share with us what that's about, Lou?
Yeah, thank you. Spare Change for Shelter Animals. I wanted to reach people and spread awareness that, change is necessary to stop the tide of death in shelters. And Spare Change basically brings awareness that shelters are full and that we need to take a look at the way that we view and treat our pets. They're not disposable. They're all we have, or we're all they have. It's a way to even teach kids to be pet responsible, be kind, be the best you can be. And for the kids, we do that with, we'll have kids make jars, and they can decorate them however they want, do whatever they want to make it look awesome in their own personal way. But just make sure they have them. They're like Kids Against Animal Cruelty and be pet responsible. And, they collect money as much as they can, and then once the jars are full, they can come on Kids Against Animal Cruelty and sponsor one of the animals that's in the shelter to an adoption. So, it could be a gerbil, it could be a dog, it could be a cat, a chicken, a bunny, whatever animal they want to put their money towards.
That sounds like a great program. Now, when did you start that?
We started at the beginning of the year. One of our chapter presidents, Michaela Jones in South Carolina, came up with Nickels for Shelters. And basically, we took that and expanded it into Spare Change for Shelter Animals. So it's just kind of evolved from an idea into a new, not really group, but like a national idea. I don't know.
An initiative.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much.
That sounds like a great program. And if I'm interested in participating in it, how could I learn more?
You can reach us on Kids Against Animal Cruelty, and we talk about it all the time. That's on Facebook. And then you can also go to our website, kidsagainstanimalcruelty.org, where we're trying to post more information on there. The hard thing about the website, though, is we can't really update animals we save on a day-to-day basis just because the internet, changing the website is such a hassle. That's why we use Facebook. And Facebook, you can post a dog, and then within minutes you got hundreds of people already looking at it and sharing it and saving it. And that's why Facebook is so phenomenal. It's what we do.
I'm going to have to look at that. I didn't get a chance to take a look at your Facebook page, and I'm going to have to look at it and tell my granddaughter about it, who loves animals, and she's 10, and I'll have her go to your Facebook page.
Hey, we don't have an Illinois chapter yet. Maybe your granddaughter would want to get involved.
I'll ask her, because she really does love animals. She got a shelter dog in December, and she really, really enjoyed the whole experience of going to a shelter, the happy side of it, and finding a dog that she could take home and love. And she takes it out for a walk each morning and learning all the responsibility that goes with it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I'll ask her. Her name's Zoe, and I'll ask Zoe if she'd be interested. I understand on June 29th you're going to receive the first annual Junior Pet Hero Awards.
Yeah.
Where's that at? And can you give me a little background on what's happening and why that award's being given?
Yeah, it's in New York in the Southamptons, and basically I was nominated by Tracy Collins Antonino, and it's by the Pet Philanthropy Circle, and it's really cool, and it's run by the president, Jill Morris, and it's basically about saving and enhancing the quality of animals' lives by promoting awareness. They're awarding people who do that. So they're awarding me for being a young person, aka the Junior Pet Hero Award. So I'm very honored and I'm very excited, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It sounds like it. Do you know who else is going to be there?
Yeah, Christy Brinkley is getting the Humanitarian of the Year Award, and I know Cesar Millan will be there. So a lot of really cool people and a lot of inspirational people who, like Cesar Millan, I've been watching since I was a kid and thinking how awesome he is. And so if I get to meet him, I'm going to be like jumping up and down. That'll be really cool.
Well, I'll jump up and down with you. A few weeks ago, he was on, and I was just like a kid. I said, wow, Caesar, and we're talking away, and I'm telling him about how Max picks up litter and puts it in the trash barrel, and he says, oh, that's great, and wow, getting a compliment about what you're doing with your dog from Caesar is real praise.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. Now, a little birdie told me your date at the recent Genesis Awards, sponsored by the Humane Society of the United States, was a real dog. Is that true?
Yeah, I took a dog named Diva. I took her photo. I couldn't bring the dog, which I really want to bring a dog with me on a red carpet one time and say it's my date. But she was still in the shelter. She was in the Carson shelter, and she was going to die. So I took her picture with me, and I was saying, this is my date. Or I wish she could be my date, but she couldn't be here because she's in an animal shelter, and I would love it if anybody could help her make my date one day. And one of our supporters, Al Wittelsbach from Strangest Angels Animal Rescue, came in and thought what we did was amazing and saved Diva, rescued Diva. So it was that was really awesome. Now she's been adopted, so that was awesome.
Well, congratulations. That is really a neat idea, is to take a picture with you like that to that prom and then to the awards, and you just keep on telling people and enlightening them about the situation, because a lot of people, it's amazing, just don't understand how many dogs are looking for homes and how great the animals are.
I know, and it's a lot of people too. I feel like there's why we can't go to the animal shelter because we can't find like a pug or something, for example. I'll be like, yeah, you can. There's hundreds of them. There's so many different types of animals in the shelters, and it's not all mixes. And even though mixes are great, all my dogs are mixes. I think I don't even know what half my dogs are.
Yeah, you're right. They're all great, and if somebody does want a specific breed, I've been told that as high as 25% of the dogs at shelters are purebreds, and so there's dogs for everyone.
Yeah, there is, and that's the thing. And even if there's not one in the shelter close to you, maybe if you look online at the other shelters' pages and stuff, there might be that dog in other shelters that are within a couple of miles. So that's one thing we do as Kids Against Animal Cruelty. People come online and ask for a certain type of dog, and we try to help them find that dog and figure out where the closest one of that breed would be, and then how we can get transport for them to get the dog if it's too far for them. So because we really want to get people to get the animals out of the shelters instead of pet stores. That's
right. Illinois just was awarded having 2 of the worst pet puppy mills in the country, so we're going to have to work on that in this state and everywhere else. But I have a question for you right now, and I ask this of each of my guests. What that is the question is, with so much human misery in the world, how can you justify spending time, money, and resources advocating for animals, Lou?
Well, because, kindness to animals is kindness to others. So, if you take care of your pets and you really learn to have that bond with your animals, then you'll have that bond with people, especially at a young age.
That's a great answer, and I imagine it gives you a good feeling to be able to work with animals and help people find how great that is.
Yeah, well, like I said, if you teach this to animals, then hopefully kindness to people will follow. And that's one thing we're working on is, and even though we're Kids Against Animal Cruelty, we talk about if you see like a kid in the cafeteria sitting alone, then just go sit by him. Who cares? Would you rather someone be miserable for the rest of their lives? What if that was you? I mean, come on, you got to take care of your friends, take care of the world, take care of the environment. That's like what we promote all the time.
Well, that's a great attitude. And if more people had that attitude, then it'd be a much kinder world, I believe.
Kindness is key.
Yes, it's key, and it's so easy to do, isn't it?
It is. I mean, it's as simple as just walking to someone and saying, hey,
I want to ask you one other thing, and you're doing so much work. Do you have any upcoming projects that you want to mention, or websites, or places people can get information about what you're doing?
Well, right now we're putting like 100% focus into this gas chamber ban. So if you can, anybody, please go write your local congressman and help them support this bill, because that would be huge if we could completely ban gassing in the U.S. So yeah, and that's Jim Moran who started the bill, Congressman of Virginia.
Do you know if there's a number on that bill yet or not?
I don't know. It's pending, I think.
Okay.
I'll post it on Kids Against Animal Cruelty. I'll get more information and put it on Kids Against Animal Cruelty.
Okay, that'll be great. And for our listeners who want to write their congressman, all you have to do is go to the internet, and there's sites that can help you find your local representative if you don't know who it is. And then you click, once you enter information such as your zip code and if you know your congressional district, and that'll get you right to your congressperson. And then you can write about this bill that's pending about gassing animals and stop that, because it's really horrific what these animals go through.
Yeah, and it has to stop.
We're in agreement with that, and we'll do anything we can do to help you, Lou. And because, like I said, I've been in contact with a couple people who are really pushing to get the publicity out about this.
That's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. You've been a great guest. And we thank you for being with us today and wish you good luck on your acting, singing, and advocacy projects.
No, thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
And as always, we have to thank our listeners for spending their valuable time with us. And please tell your friend about Max A. Pooch's awesome animal advocates. Max and I thank Mark Winter, co-founder and executive producer of Pet Life Radio, and our sponsors. And please vote for Max A. Pooch in this year's American Humane Association Hero Dog Awards competition. You can find the link at maxapooch.com. That's maxapooch.com. And I'm Keith Sanderson, host and creator of Max A. Pooch's awesome animal advocates, saying so long, and we hope you speak out for animals because they can't speak for themselves.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.